I'm Julia Dean. I'm the founder here at the Clay School, and I'd like to show you how we'd like for you to clean up after you throw at the potter's wheel. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you take your splash pan off correctly, and we have a few different wheels here, so ask for help if you have a wheel that's different from this one. But this is the Pacifica, and we have more of these than anything else, I believe. So what you do is pull your splash pan toward yourself, take off the front half, and then push the other half away from you. Now if you need to put this on and never have done that, what you'll look for is the thin part of this splash pan goes on the top and pulls all the way toward you. And this broader piece here is the one that's closest to you and lifts up over that smaller piece, and then you push it away from you. So you do the opposite to take it off. What you want is for all of the wet clay and water out of your splash pan to get raked into the bucket you used to throw with. Get as much of the clay off as you can this first pass. And these will be much easier to clean up with a bigger sponge later. You can do the same thing for your tools while you're at your wheel. And this just saves us having clay chunks in the sink. So you can take a first pass at all your tools. And if there are any chunks or bigger pieces of clay that you want to get off your wheel first, do that too. So then once you've done the preliminary cleaning, you're going to take this bucket over to the slop container, and you'll see there's a grate on the top of this bucket where we can just pour the whole container of water and slop on top, and that way it catches any tools or sponges that you might have forgotten were in the bottom of your bucket. And then you really want to scrape this out so that none of this gets into the sink either. And then push all of this wet clay through the grate. Then, with a bucket that looks like this, you can come over and get some fresh water and do the final stage of cleaning. I'm going to leave my smaller sponge here and take one of the bigger sponges for cleaning. So with this bigger sponge, you can really wipe down your wheel a lot faster. And with this cleaner bucket of water, you can clean your sponge out. You can leave the splash pan off for the next person, but we'd also like for you to pay attention to the sides and floor underneath your wheel. So if you've got clay on the legs, please keep that cleaned off. And then the wetness under your wheel can be, you can use a sponge, or we have a mop if it's really bad. So make sure that you leave yourself enough time to clean up before you have to leave from a class, or if you're working on your own. It just really helps the health of everybody in the studio, and makes everybody happy when they come in and find a clean wheel to work at. So then you'll just finish off your bucket and your tools, putting them back in place, making sure they're clean before you put them back, and that's it. I'll show you how to clean up your trimmings after you've trimmed the bottoms of your pots. This splash pan is going to come off by pulling toward yourself, and then the bottom part will come off and the top part will come off. So all the trimmings that have landed in your splash pan and on the top of the wheel are okay to recycle. All the trimmings that happen to be on the floor, we're going to sweep those up and just throw them in the trash so that we don't contaminate our recycled clay. So if you'll just take your hand or a scraper, or use one of these scrapers that comes from the wedging table. Scrape them into your splash pan. You can consolidate those two if you'd like. And then take these dry trimmings, blue bucket, that says dry clay scraps here. And then the trimmings on the floor, if you'll pick your pedal up, and maybe the pedal next to you, you can just sweep these up and they go right over here in the trash can. And then just put your wheel back together for the next person to use. Thanks.